Now, one of the real indications of club strength here at the Nationals occurs in the Taplin relay event. The big news from the eliminations rounds was the bowing out of last year's champs and runner-ups, Maroochydore and Surfers Paradise. That's left the event wide open as we rejoin our team for the call.
Taplin relay as you look down from our chopper on the competition area here at Kurrawa Beach. What a sight. Look at that white water they have to go through now. Trigg Island, Western Australia, North Wollongong, New South Wales, North Bondi, New South Wales, Allura, New South Wales, North Curl, New South Wales, Swansea, Belmont, New South Wales, Alexandra, Headlands in Queensland, Cronulla, Queenscliff, Manly, you see all New South Wales, Northcliffe, Maroochydore from Queensland, City of Perth, West Australia, North Burleigh, Queensland. Now this is the Lifesavers event.
The public loves the Ironman, the clubbies love the Taplin. And I'll tell you who'd be, this is the one. It's 2 swimmers, 2 board paddlers, 2 ski paddlers. It's all about depth. They do exactly the same course as the Ironman, so these courses are actually shorter than a normal race distance. What it means is it's quicker, and we're going to see all these ski paddlers and board paddlers and swimmers turn into runners because it's the changeover and the running that are an integral part of this thing.
And you're going to see a lot of urging and a lot of club spirit here.
It's fair to say this is probably the most prestigious event for the club. The clubs love it here. Cronulla are in trouble already, but it is the most prestigious event for them because there is a lot of team spirit and they really want to win it. We've seen some great results over the last couple of years. North
Bondi's cap, the famous chocolate brown, the red and the white, or is that a Wollongong cap? I'm not quite sure because it's red, white and blue, but it looks like North Bondi to me. And here's, look at this, in a lot of trouble, up in the air, gets smashed and crashed, hanging on desperately to that ski as he comes down backwards. And Cronulla, they'll suffer for that one.
Yeah, well, I mean, that would have hurt him and he'd be disappointed. But let me tell you, 5 other members of his team would also be disappointed. Grant, you've been up there in these things. They are the team event.
Yeah, they certainly are, Mark. And in fact, you know, it's so intense, the racing. Everybody knows, for a lot of the competitors, in fact, particularly in these sort of conditions, they've been knocked out through the weekend, a couple of events left. This is the big one for the club, and it is just intense, really short, hard racing.
North Bondi out in front from Allura. That's the pale blue cap with a darker blue little band round the bottom. A wave coming now. Everybody on. This will close them up pretty close. Look out the back. Oh, the yellow skier boomer. Alexandra Headlands coming down that and doing a great job. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all on the line.
Yeah, now we're going to see when they get close to the beach whether they're good runners. And that's the thing about the Taplin. There's 5 of them all in a line. The critical thing for these guys is at what point do they get off and how good's their running ability. And boy, will the rest of the team be screaming at them.
And these things are very tippy, so you've got to make sure your step-off's right.
Yeah, you've got to make sure that the step-off is right because there is so many movements going on around them, so they have to make sure that they judge this jump-off very, very well.
North Bondi coming in now. Famous club, wonderful club, the home of Spazza Hurst for many years, of course. His memory still burns bright. Up they come now as they sprint around the flag. This is what Mark Rayburn said, you have to be a runner.
You've got to be a runner because, and what they've also got to do is they've got to work out where the next guy is, and as they get closer, you watch themselves launch Trigg Island, Western Australia, Cronulla, Allura going around. They'll launch themselves at the next ski paddler.
The red, white, blue of North Wollongong was out in front, Trigg Island doing a great job.
Yeah, it's too close to tell at the moment. They're all together. Cronulla seems to be the only ones that have really paid in that first ski leg, being hit quite severely.
Trigg Island, a very unusual cap. It's red, white and green. The North Wollongong cap, the red, white and blue one, looks almost the same as North Bondi. But I saw that cap flash past in the front, so they're up there. Now here's Cronulla. Cronulla now in behind Manly. Maroochydore back there too.
Yeah, that's Maroochidore's B team. Maroochi won this title last year with Clint and Trevor in the last legs. And the two, what you would consider would be favourites, Maroochydore and Surface, both knocked out in previous rounds in big seas.
Here they go. The oceans open up a little bit this time at the moment, and they head out to Grant Kenny. Well, a few shocks there, Grant. Trigg Island are coming at you, looking good. North Bondi and North Wollongong.
Yeah, well, the big thing about the Taplin is it really shows the depth of a club. There are plenty of clubs that have got great individual performers, but this really shows the clubs that have got the depth, the ones that have got 2 or 3 good ski paddlers, board paddlers and swimmers to choose from. And as you just said, you know, even with depth, you can still get knocked out, as happened to both Surface and Maroochydore. But certainly their B teams are doing their best. But I'll tell you the other great thing about the Taplin, it's normally super tight racing, and going into the second leg on the way out, we've still got 4, 5 teams right next to each other.
And, mate, that swell's still there. I can see you sitting off there, so, I mean, they're still going to get plenty of help.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's the gaps are opening up a little bit. The wind hasn't picked up as we thought. In fact, I think it's probably even dropped off a little from what it was earlier today. Probably at the moment only blowing about 15 knots. And the swell, well, there's a decent sort of break between each set. And, of course, that's what the competitors are looking for the run out. Of course, they're looking for the sets on the run in.
Grant Kenny out to sea. Here they come around the cans now. Allura, North Bondi, North Wollongong. Trigg Island still there. Takes a wide line round now. They'll try and aim up for the first run as they hit the can. There's what we're looking at now. As they come down now, you'll see the ocean start to run, and these things will run on anything.
Yes, that's right. I mean, the first 5, keep in mind in the Taplin, there are 6 competitors. The lead can change hands any number of times, and again, I say it comes down to running as well as their other skills.
There's the runs we talk about now. Pull over the top of that, and you've got the ride home. See, now look at that. One of them's missed out, I think it was North Wollongong. Pretty hard to pick those caps from this gap because they're so close.
That's Trigg Island up with them as well.
Trigg Island's there, but it's red, white, and blue versus chocolate brown and
it's like Allura.
White. That's Allura, no doubt about that. Trigg Island in the middle. And I'm not sure if it's North Bondi or North Wollongong because they're so close together in colour. Now, watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this. Bang, smash, and they're both off. Trigg Island desperately hanging on to the ski now. And here they come. Here come the troops. This is the break they waited for.
Yeah, this is again now. We've got 4 of them on this, and they will have probably, but this stage wouldn't have seen the chaos in front. But again, because this race goes for so long, anyone can come from behind.
Watch the blue ski on a late takeoff there. There's North Wollongong's cap there, closest to us as they come in on this little sandbank, getting sucked up and smashed down as they come. Unbelievable stuff here. And Cronulla's done a pretty good job to come back. Now, this is the Allura cap coming through. So it's Allura. Let's see if it's red, white, and blue or chocolate, brown, and white. North Wollongong. North Wollongong. Trigg Island. Swansea Belmont. Manly. Northcliffe behind them. Kai Hurst running into the water for Manly. Watch this kid. He is an absolute sensation. Was man of the carnival last year.
Very, very good swimmer. He's been in good form here, but I just saw Craig Hackett waiting on the sand there for Marucci. So, actually, Craig Hackett. Here we see mayhem and carnage.
Oh, wow, look at this. He just knows he's in trouble. He tries desperately to put his weight back onto the ski, but Titanic stuff.
Well,
we'll take a break, come back. Holy action, it's just happening here at Kurrawa. Welcome back to the Australian Surf Lifesaving Championships at Kurrawa Beach on the Gold Coast. You're looking down at the white water and our swimmers in the Taplin relay making way now. And I want to talk about a particular swimmer in the sky blue cap you can see there. His name is Kai Hurst. His mum, Kerry, competes in the Masters. He lives at Foresters Beach on the Central Coast. Actually belongs to the club I belong to, Wombrel, but competes for Manly because they can do so much for him. His coach, one of his coaches, Craig Riddick, I was talking to him this morning, very excited about this young bloke. He won the Peter Lacey Memorial last year as the outstanding competitor here at Kurrawa.
And in that year, he was age 15, and he took on the likes of Clint Robinson and Trevor Hendy to win it. I mean, it came second in the World Swimming Championships, 5K swim, third, sorry, but again, a gifted athlete. Just won the under-18 surf race. Nice guy to have in your Taplin team.
Now, a lot of people say he's the next Grant Kenny. What do you say, Grant?
And if I could have swum like Kai Hurst, I'd have been a very, very happy man, I've got to say. But he really is a genius, and not only is he a great swimmer, and I think many people, including myself, looked on with a little caution as he took up the Ironman season this year round, because we hadn't seen him go too well yet on the board or ski in particular. But gee, didn't he give it to the big names this year? He really doesn't care. He just says, this is a race, I'm in it. As I speak, he powers right past the Allura competitor, and that's the sort of thing we expect from him. Only about 10 metres for him now to get to that last turning can and then make his way to the beach. And I'll tell you what, if I was out in front with him behind me in the swim leg, I would be worried.
Yeah, Grant, his mum, Kerry, I mean, the regime that they go through at 4:30 in the morning to get him through training, to get him down to Manly, to Carville's, it's unbelievable. He's got the most dedicated mum I've ever come across. They're just a wonderful family. And he's got brothers that are just as good, or on the way up to be as good. Yeah,
well, he's in good hands, too, with the Riddingtons there at Manly. Of course, Craig, a great Ironman, a former Australian World Surf Race champion. And just an exceptional surf swimmer, great at body surfing, pick up almost anything. And Kai Hurst is very similar in many ways. He's nice and high in the water, which of course makes it a lot easier to pick up broken waves. Probably the most difficult thing you could do in surf swimming.
At the moment, it's the North Wollongong cap, Trig Island's cap from Western Australia there, Manly's cap, so he's hauling back a bit.
Yeah, he is. Again, this race distance is 120 metres. It's a lot shorter than a normal 200-metre swimming race, so it's down to absolute pure speed. Kai Hurst can run. I don't know whether these other guys can run, but again, when they're running versus someone else swimming, a little gap of 1 or 2 metres becomes a big gap of 10 or 15 metres.
Kai electing not to wear goggles there, and we can see he's just out of this shot at the moment, but let's talk about his actual pool swimming as well, because you're talking about him taking it to the legends of surf lifesaving, but he's almost taking it to the legends of pool swimming as well, the Kieran Perkins, the Grant Hackett's, and Daniel Kowalski's. So he's just moved into second place. He's just passing what looks like Matt Brown from Allura. And there he is there. His classical stroke is just a beautiful stroke. He's keeping a good eye on his line on the beach, and he's just making a slight adjustment on his line. And stopping and waiting for waves. Good skills. Let's see if he can hold this, because if he can hold this, again, beautiful surfing, head up again. We've seen it. We'll see it all weekend. Head up, side by side, head up. But now using the arms, big kick. Someone's dropped off the back. There you have it. Fantastic skills. He's held that through. Now the other two are still in the background. They're swimming. He's on a wave. He's going to get up and running. Let me tell you, the happiest 6 on the beach will be the rest of his team members.
Well, we gave him a wrap, but didn't he come through? Beautiful camera work too. You just talked about picking up a wave and we're straight onto it. He's out of the water and running now, and that gives Manly a big hand.
Yeah, let's look at the gap. He's running. The other two are in deep water and waiting. Now, watch his gap, how much this increases. Has a look over his shoulder. Let me tell you, the other 5 members of his team will be screaming. His next swimmer, being from Manly, he'll definitely be a good one. It'll probably be Scotty Bartlett, I think, but we'll just have to see who he does tag. But as we see, looks like Trig Island coming through in second, and that's Dean Peters. Now, he's a 92 Olympian, so that was a pretty good swim by him as well. It is Scott Bartlett running into the water, and there is Dean Peters, and looks like North Bondi coming through there, so they've had a great swim as well. There was North Wollongong in third, but again, up against in this sort of... Now, let's have a look at the speed. Steve Pullen, we're going to see him in the Ironman later on today. This is the versatility of these guys. Now, that's an Ironman running, not a swimmer running. Look at his legs. Look at the grunt. Craig Hackett in the Ironman later on today. These guys are going to be going through events and events and events. Now, tagging to Mark Williams, former Australian surf race champion. Watch for him to go from, I think now about 5th, hopefully up to 1st.
I reckon the Cole started the trend. They've all got little tats on the boys.
They might be stick-on ones, though. They might have their sponsors stuck on there. But Cronulla coming through now. Now, this Cronulla swimmer, probably Cameron Gibbs, will go through to Daniel McClellan. So Daniel McClellan, big program here today, but haven't seen him yet.
Okay.
Let's go back and have a look at this body surfing now from Kai Hurst. As he goes on, look, it all looks so easy, but boy, oh boy, that's just the perfect position to be in, isn't it?
Exactly. Keep your head up, surf on your hands, skim down the front of it, and now he's using one arm. Keep your head down and keep the weight forward. Now, beside him, the wave has died. He's in the right place and doing everything right. Now, again, he's going at a far greater speed than the rest, and just, if you're at home and you want to catch a wave and go all the way to the beach, that's what you do.
Well, as we catch up the swimmers now in this second swim leg, it looks like Manly. Scott Bartlett is having a great swim here. He's been in pretty good form at late. He's also a pool swimmer, a very good pool swimmer, and he'd probably go around the 155 to 154 for the 200 freestyle. You know, we talk about the Australian titles bringing clubs from all over Australia. 1, 2 and 3. You've got 2 from Sydney and 1 from Western Australia. This is, again, what the Australian titles are out. Come over here and have a crack at the best in Australia. These guys individually have great skills, but as Grant has previously said, Grant, it's really all about teamwork and working together.
It is, and I think it comes back to that depth thing again too. And these races are so short. What we're seeing here is what the Ironmen do on their own twice through. And, of course, it's broken down into thirds now. Each of the competitors has only got to do one of these short little legs. As you said, the surf race is normally about 200 metres to the first can. Swim leg of an Ironman is only 120. And with today's surf, you can pretty much count on picking up some sort of a wave on the run home. So you're only looking at about a 250-metre swim for these guys. So they're going out with absolutely everything that they've got, and it really is a fantastic team event. And as you said earlier, I think most clubs, for the individuals and the crowd, I think the Ironman's the big one, but for the clubs, I think it's the Taplin. It always holds a lot of prestige. Well, Grant, can you see Mark Williams out there? He seems to be making up a lot of room on the Manly competitor, Scott Bartlett. Certainly is. Looks good. Has got a slightly different line, a very, very aggressive style at the moment. He hasn't come as far to the north and has swum a pretty much dead straight line to his can, which is good surfing in itself, and very aggressive style, as I said. And but the Manly boys, I tell you what, this is approaching the business end of the race now. He'll turn his can before they get to the first of the turning swim cans, so they'll probably have the length of this swim course ahead. Manly will, and tell you what, they're going to have the first chance at